Hi guys, EBPMAN with Tablets for Me. Today we're going to do an unboxing review of the Samsung Galaxy S6. Today happens to be release day, so let's see what's inside. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove the S6 from the packaging. Pretty straightforward, just like any other Samsung device that you may have received. First thing we have here is a quick reference guide, and we'll put that right here. We have our S6 Edge. You can see that. This happens to be the charcoal edition. So we'll put this right here on the side. We have a instruction guide, safety guide. You know, that's what you have in this package right here. We'll put that to the side, not too important. Again, the SIM card. This happens to be an AT&T edition. And we have a charger. Now, one of the things I'm going to highlight before we move on to the other components, this is really important, especially those of you who already have Samsung devices. Remember, one of the things that's unique about this specific Samsung phone is that it supports quick charging or adaptive fast charging, that Qualcomm technology. If you have old chargers, it will charge your phone, but it does not have this adapted fast charging. So you want to make sure that you're using your new charging brick if you want to get that top speed. So you have one of those. You have your micro USB charging cable. So basically it changed from the S5 when you have that wider charging cable. You have this little device here that's used to open up your SIM drawer so that you can put in your SIM card. Once again, Samsung is including headphones. They kind of go back and forth. Sometimes there's headphones, sometimes there isn't. I didn't get any headphones, I don't believe, with my Note. And that's everything that's in the box. So that is our quick unboxing. What we'll do is start up the S6 so that you can see what the startup process is. And we'll do a short review. So let's take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge in comparison to the standard Samsung Galaxy S5, so you can see what's changed. We'll do the same type of comparison with the standard S6 a little later today. So first of all, if we notice on the very bottom here of your S6 Edge, you do have some changes. So this is what your S5 looks like. You have something that's really close to what I would say the look of an iPhone. You have your speaker is now here at the very bottom. You'll notice here it's on the back. You also notice that your headphone jack, which is right here, on your S5 was on the top. So that's another change. You have a pinhole mic right there, and you have it right here, so that's moved. And then you have a really big flap here that for most of you that have been using the S5s, you may run into problems where it falls off, or it's not even connected to your phone anymore, and that was for waterproofing. This phone does not have the same IP67 waterproof rating as the S5 did. The other thing that you'll find is on the back, you're going to notice that the S5 here has a plastic back. The S6 and the S6 Edge have a glass back, and it does not support a removable battery or expandable memory. So here I can actually have the battery off, and I have a memory card that I can put into the phone to expand it. The camera also, if we take a look at the camera here in the very bottom, the camera location has shifted somewhat, as well as the flash, and this is also happens to be your sensor for your heart rate monitor. Okay. If we flip to the top now, we'll take a look at what's going on here at the top. You'll notice once again you have your IR blaster right here, pinhole mic, headphone jack, and in this case you have your SIM card, and you have your IR blaster, and then you have right there your pinhole mic. On the sides, I'll put these side by side. You'll notice here that your volume rocker, which existed here as one complete piece. Now it's two separate buttons, more or less in the same location. But you will notice that because this is an Edge, the bevel that you see here on the side is much thinner. You can see that really clearly how much thinner it is. If we were to flip it on the other side, where the power button is, the other thing that's changed is that your power button has shifted. So with the S6 and the S6 Edge, you have the power button has moved down slightly. I actually like that it's there. So instead of it being here, that shift is a welcome shift. Now, because of the finish on the side, it's kind of hard to tell which phone is actually thinner, especially because of the Edge. But I will tell you that the Edge is significantly thinner than the actual S5. So there is, you feel that it's lighter. It does also feel much more as a premium phone, and I think I really like the treatment all the way around. This kind of matte finish that's going around. I find it much more appealing than I did with the shiny S5. That being said, very few people actually that I know of use their phone without a case. So the back is going to be covered as well as the edge for the most part. At least the finish that you see here will also be covered. Now focusing on the front so we can see what's changed, if anything has changed. Pretty much everything looks the same. You know, you see some things that are a little bit different there where you have those sensors up in the upper left hand corner and your camera. Now the actual specs are significantly different, and we'll go over the specs a little bit later, but just wanted to show you what the front of the phones look like as you're looking at them. And on the bottom, the button, you'll notice, seems to be more chubbier. This home button that you see there is a little bit chubbier. It's not as long. And one of the things that's changed there is when you actually now use your finger to actually turn on the phone or to go to the home button, in this case, or the fingerprint reader. Before you used to swipe down this way, and now with the S6 and the S6 Edge, all you do is you press your finger on it, very similar to what you see with the iPhone. Our next step is to power up the phone. So let's see what the power up sequence is like. I'm going to press and hold the power button. Now, one of the things I'll mention, AT&T and maybe some of the other providers were having problems with the actual packaging where some of the phones were turning on. So if you receive your AT&T phone and try to power it up and you don't find that it is powered up, what you need to do is enable or plug it in to charge it before you actually start using it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to connect to my local network and continue the video once it's connected. Now that I've connected to my network, now you have all these terms and conditions that I don't know how many of us read, but I'm just going to hit next. I'm going to agree. And now what it's doing is it's going through, in this case, because I don't have a SIM card in it, it's going to go through the actual Wi-Fi connection and look if there's any kind of software updates. Here you're being introduced to that tap and go technology. This is pretty much if you'd like to be able to enable your phone as a credit card so that you can actually use it for purchases and things of that nature. So we can do that a little bit later. You can learn more or you can skip. I'm just going to go ahead and skip. Now the startup sequence has changed somewhat if you compare it to the S5 Note 4. So you can see that a lot has changed there. One of the things, I don't know if it's coming out on camera, is that the colors are very vibrant. And you expect that from Samsung. Great screen. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my Gmail account and we'll continue the video. Now the next thing it asked me after I put in my Gmail account is if I accepted the privacy policy associated with Google, which I did, and now it's going through the initial setup. So if my phone was part of Google previously, several things would happen here. It would download some information. It would download my previous apps that were installed. This is a brand new setup, so it's not going to do this. Now what we're seeing here is a couple things. Get your apps and data, and it's talking about backups and restore. And you'll notice here that it's looking at one of my previous phones and looking to restore the apps that are on that phone, which is a pretty cool feature, and it's actually improvement. So I have another Samsung device, and it's just identifying that as one of my many devices that I have that happen to be Samsung or LG as a source of all my apps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose that phone that I want it to pick up, and it's going to install all my apps. A great improvement if you're coming from an old Android phone. So now that I confirmed that that's actually the phone that I want to copy, I'm just going to hit next. And it's asking, everything about the Google services, location services. I pretty much accept them all. I want to make sure that I'm getting the full experience. And now what it's doing is it's restoring. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow it to restore. It's going to take a couple minutes. Literally, we'll see how effective it is in restoring, what aspects of the phone get restored, and I'll show you what my Note 4 looks like so we can see how that restoration took place. Again, I find that this is an improved experience when it comes to going from the original Samsung Galaxy S to the S2, S3, S4, S5. None of them had this type of restoration process, so I'm really anticipating and hoping that it's going to do a lot for me and for you when you get your new S6 or X6 Edge. So the next step here that I just wanted to highlight for you all is the fact that now we're about to log into our Samsung account. Many people skip this process, and I want to mention, do not skip it. You should sign up with either if you already have an existing Samsung account, or use your Google ID, which is another great improvement because you only could do one or the other. In this case, it's doing both. And the reason why you want to do this is because if you do lose your phone, you could either use Google or Samsung's Find My Phone functionality, like you see here, locate your lost device, to be able to find it. One of the most popular videos that I have on my channel is I lost my phone. That's the case for both the iPhone and also for the Samsung devices. So don't be a victim. Make sure that you sign into your Samsung account so that if you lose your device, you can find it. I'm going to go ahead and sign into my Samsung account. Now that I've signed into my Samsung account, see, now we have Find My Mobile. And again, do not skip this. Go through this process. And this is going to allow you to not only find your phone, but also put in an activation lock so that if someone does steal your phone and they reset it, they cannot reactivate it. So this is an important feature that you should turn on. The next step here is to establish your email account. So I'll choose an email account, add it to the Samsung phone, and proceed. Now what we have is the ability to set up a wake command. This is for S-Voice. If you've been using Google products before, or Siri on the Apple devices, you can set up some wake-up commands. For example, in Google, you can say, "OK Google." So you can do the same thing. If you're going to be using the S-Voice functionality, you can set that wake-up command. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Set. And notice how it's giving us the instructions for the wake up command, and it's asking that the phone be a certain distance. And it's giving you some examples like, "Hi Galaxy, hi there." So I'll set up my wake up command. "Hey Galaxy. Hey Galaxy. Hey Galaxy." Right. So now the wake up command has been set, and you'll notice these are all the things that I can say if I do choose to use the S-Voice solution. We're going to review S-Voice in subsequent videos and see if it's worth keeping or sticking with Google. I have a sense that the Google Now solution is going to be much better, but we'll give it a chance. I'm going to hit done. Now we're going into fingerprint, and this is an important part, so I want you to really pay attention to this one. I get several emails and comments where many will complain about the accuracy of the actual fingerprint. And I'll say, with my S5 and with my Note 4, I've never had any problems, neither with my iPhone 5S or with my iPhone 6. I've never had problems. And it really comes down to how you register your fingerprint. And I'm going to do a special video just about fingerprint reading or setting up fingerprints, just in case you guys skip this. But this is how it works. So I'm going to choose Add. All right, I'm going to confirm. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on the fingerprint reader. All right, and what I'm going to do is I am going to now put it in an angle. I'm not going to put it in the exact same position because we never touch our phone in the exact same position. So what I'm doing is I'm rotating it in every possible direction that I could possibly do it. Maybe putting a little bit of the tip too, because I want to make sure that it's never the same. And notice how I'm rotating it. Okay. And you know what? Why not? I'll even do it upside down. I wanted to get enough samples of every possible way I can actually hold the phone. So that's what I'm doing here. Do it like this again. A little bit higher. All right. Now, what we're going to do is, notice how it says there, place the tip of the same finger on the home key, then lift it, and we'll see. We're going to continue, and we're going to do it again until we get 100%, and now it's complete. All right. Now it's asking you to put in a backup password. This is great just in case you forget your finger. I was about to say, well, just in case you have problems with your fingerprint reader. Always good to have a manual way to do it, and especially if, let's say, you have a significant other and you want them to get into your phone, you can always give them the code. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a code. Now the next step is every phone manufacturer is going to have some proprietary software. In this case, AT&T has the locker software. I'm going to skip that. You can choose to use it if you'd like. And you notice my applications are still coming down. And what we now have is set up our Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. And if I go into my apps, in addition to my standard apps, there's going to be several different apps that are my apps. And you'll notice I have American Airlines is already there. That was not part of this. My Logitech Alert platform, AMP, as well as all these other applications that I have are now installing because it's taking that profile setting from my Note and copying it over. So we're going to let it complete, and then we'll check it out and see what else is there. So most of the applications have completed installing, and as you recall, when we were doing the actual initial setup, it did ask for me to identify which phone it wanted to restore. Now what I found is that it did restore my wallpaper. So this is my Note, and we'll skip this screen. You notice the kind of wallpaper I have. It did match my wallpaper. What it did not do, though, is match all my icon layouts. So you notice that I have different icons laid out here. And then so if we go to the other screens, it's actually not 100% exactly the same. But what it did accomplish is it brought over all of my applications, so I don't have to install my applications all over again, and the wallpaper. So I think that's a good start. I wish it went beyond that, but it didn't. So with that, this concludes our unboxing and a very brief comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge and the S5. You saw how to register your fingerprint during this video, and you also saw how to do that backup restore process that I showed you as well. One thing I warn you, if you are considering the Samsung Galaxy S Edge, I do recommend that you go to the store, that you do use the phone for a little bit. I have found that in some limited testing, individuals that suffer from some type of vertigo have difficulty with the actual Edge screen. And if it's something that will affect you because you suffer vertigo, it will be something that you will be able to feel it immediately. So before you buy, go to the stores, check them out, and make sure that you are not affected by the Edge display. I did also find that, and again with limited testing, that a couple individuals that suffer from vertigo didn't seem to react so quickly to the phone when it had a wide case like this one. You notice how this has some depth on each side, so it makes it a little bit wider. It did help a little bit, but they still felt kind of a little queasy. Once again, limited testing, but I just want to warn you all. So with that, this concludes our unboxing and setup. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. And as always, we'll be publishing several how-to videos for the S6 and the S6 Edge. And I have tons of accessories that I'll be sharing with you. So stay tuned. Again, thanks for watching.